Hey everybody, welcome back to the Magic Channel. My name is David, and today we're going to look at a couple more card forces. Now, I've already done some card forces on the channel in the past. There's a couple other videos, and I thought, you know what? Let's just make one video where we cover a couple different forces, because I think the other videos are just one force. You know, we did the countdown force, did the rollover force, did the crisscross force. Those we've already covered in other videos, and they'll be in this playlist. But let's cover a couple more. All right, let's go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover the Hindu shuffle or the Hindu force. All right, and basically with the Hindu force, you're only going to just do a little bit of setup, and that's just have the card you want to force on the bottom of the deck. Now, sometimes when a layperson shuffles a deck, they might actually do a Hindu shuffle and they don't even realize it. And a lot of times when people do the Hindu shuffle, they pull cards out from the center of the deck and they leave the top and bottom kind of in place. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to pull the cards out from the bottom. So you're sliding the bottom section out from underneath the top like that. So I'm holding the cards. See, I'm controlling and making sure everything's stiff. They can't slide around. I'm going to pull the bottom section out like this. And then I'm going to start dealing cards down from the top to the bottom. From the top section, see, I'm keeping them elevated like this. From the top section to the bottom section. And I'm just going to tell my spectator, just say stop wherever you'd like. And I just deal however many cards I want. They say stop, and I say right here, and I turn the bottom section, and they see the Joker. Once they see that, then I usually place this top section down on top. So this gives the appearance that you saw the card, I didn't see the card, and now I'm putting it all together, losing your card in the pile. You give it a little shake like that. Then you can hand the deck to the spectator and say, here, you want to shuffle them? They shuffle them. And of course, you already know the card because you forced it. So once again, forcing the bottom card. So let's just say it's the 3 of diamonds. I remove the bottom section of cards. And you don't have to be neat. You can leave the cards protruding like that. I'm moving cards from the top to the bottom like that. And just say stop wherever you'd like me to stop. They say stop right there. I say, okay, here's your card. They see the 3 of diamonds. I put the top half on top of the lower half. And I can hand it out to be shuffled, but I already know the card. All right, so here's another force. This is the multi-count force. Multi-count force. And with this one, there's a little bit of setup, but a lot of it happens in the spectator's hands, and that's good. So it happens in their hands, so then it doesn't feel like a force, okay? It feels like they have a free selection. So what you're gonna do with a little bit of setup is you're gonna have your force card placed 10th from the top, which means if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my force card is the Joker. Okay, we're going to force the Joker again. So my force card is 10th from the top. Now, that's really all I need to do. At this point, I walk up to my spectator and I say, hey, I'm going to have you select a card, but we'll do it a little bit differently. You know, some magicians, they say, pick a card, any card, and you don't know if you can trust them. They can riffle through the cards and say stop, and again, you don't know if you can trust them, so I'm just going to let you decide, okay? I want you to pick a number between 10 and 20. 10 and 20. Let's say they say 12. Say, all right, here's the deck. I want you to count 12 cards to the table. So the spectator's going to take the deck, and they're going to count down 12 cards to the table, thus reversing the order, okay? That's what you know. You know they're reversing the order. And they'll count down like this. So they'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? Now you say, you know what, to make this even more random, we'll take your 2 digits and add them together. So 12 digits added together would be 1 plus 2 would be 3. Okay? You're going to have them scoop up everything. And again, count down 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that third card will be the card they look at, and it will be the Joker. And the great thing about this is you can do it with your hand up to your head like that, so that you're not looking. You could do it with your back turned, as long as you're giving them good instructions, and it'll feel like they're in complete control. Even with your back turned at that point, you could tell them, all right, now that you know your card, memorize it, and then shuffle it back into the deck. They do so, and I think they're going to think that they had a free selection and that there's no way you could possibly know what card they picked. All right, so here's your last force. This is called the drop 10 force. Drop 10 force. Now, I've never actually seen this in print. And so if you know where this came from, I would love to know, because this is a force I've been using my entire career. This is probably my very favorite force, and it's the easiest one to do, really, because it happens completely in your spectator's hands. Now, there's two different ways I like to do this. One, I can do this where I force a specific card, right? A card that I want them to take. And the second way I can do this is I force a card without picking it. And I'll tell you what that means. But I'll show you the preferred way that I normally do it. Okay. So let's find our joker, because we've been forcing jokers all day. So we have my joker. It's a chameleon. My joker's on the bottom. Okay. So we're going to hand the deck to the spectator, and we're going to ask them to try something. Say, hey, I want to see if you can take the deck and see if you can drop about 10 cards to the table like that. And it's something that not only magicians but professional gamblers and card dealers, card sharks, they try to see if they can drop any amount of card called. So if somebody says, hey, drop 10 or drop 20 or drop 25, drop 26, right? It's all feeling. It's all feeling. If you can feel the width of the cards and just have sensitive fingertips, you can drop the right amount of cards. So I'm going to see if you can try it on the first try. We'll see if you can do it, okay? So you hand the deck to the spectator, and they take the deck, and it doesn't matter how many cards they drop. Whatever it looks like, however it ends up, just tell them, good job, that's fine, okay? So let's say they drop a little smattering of cards like that, okay? And they're like, I'm sure that's way too much. You say, that's okay, that's okay. Let's see how well you did, okay? Pick up all the cards, so they do. And you say, count down to the table, and let's just see how many cards you did drop. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're like, 8, that's pretty good. 8's not bad. 8's pretty close. That was pretty good. You say, all right, let's do a little magic trick now. You dropped a random amount of cards. You counted them. You shuffled. You came to that point right there. Why don't you grab that top card and look at it, memorize it. Okay, you know what it is? All right. And we're just going to shuffle that back into the deck. See, that was really easy. So that was the bottom card. And when they counted to verify that they dropped 10 cards, all they did was reverse the order, and they ended up putting the joker back on top. And again, they can shuffle the cards back into the deck, and nobody will know how that came about. The second way I like to do this is more in their hands and more spontaneous. And this is really fun to do if you actually are doing something and you catch a glimpse. So let's say the spectators are holding the cards and you're playing a game of poker or something, and they're shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, and you're watching them. Okay, you're watching them close. And one of the times when they shuffle, they kind of tilt the deck up, and you see the bottom card. You just catch a glimpse of it, but you know the bottom card's 8 of hearts. You say, stop, hang on a minute. You know what? Before you shuffle those cards again, let's do a little trick. You're already ready to go, right? The cards have been in their hand the entire time. They've been shuffling and playing around with them. You are watching for that moment where you glimpse the bottom card, and now you're ready to do the impossible. Because the cards have been in their hands, they've been shuffling, and you say, hey, let's do a little experiment. And then you walk into the whole effect about, see if you can drop 10 cards. They have no way of knowing that you glimpsed the bottom card. And then after you go through the trick, they're going to be so behind, they're not going to see you catch up. The other way to do this is have the spectator shuffle. So let's say you're not playing a poker game. This is your deck. You say, hey, you don't trust my deck. Here, shuffle. So they shuffle. They shuffle the cards around however they want. And you say, I forgot to take the jokers out. And you take the deck back. Find out what the bottom card is. The bottom card is the 2 of diamonds. Okay. Remove that joker. Hand it back. And say, or put it on the table and say, all right, let's do a trick. The other way to do it is you hand the deck to the spectator and they shuffle. And usually people shuffle sloppy. They shuffle sloppy, their cards go together sloppy, and they'll sometimes do this in front of you. As soon as they do that, you saw the bottom card, right? They'll do this, and you say, all right, stop, that's good enough. So you just get a glimpse of that bottom card, and it's completely organic. All right, and really quick, let me just talk a little bit about revealing a card, okay? There's two ways to do a revelation. There's two ways. Number one, there's a prediction. That means you've written it down. You've whispered it in somebody's ear. You have a duplicate card somewhere else. That would be a prediction. You could take another card from another deck, right, and have that card in your pocket. And then you force a card from a sister deck, a completely different deck. So when you're ready to reveal your prediction, you pull your single card out of your pocket and you say, you know, I only brought one card with me from this deck, and it's the Eight of Hearts. What card did you pick? And they'll say the Eight of Hearts. That's a prediction effect. That means you knew what was going to happen, right? A prediction would be you could tell the future. So that's one way. The second way you could do a revelation is by mind reading. Now, mind reading is completely different. It's a much different type of revelation, and there might be some people out there who don't believe you that you can read minds, okay? So you have to kind of determine, what kind of person am I? Am I a person that's going to predict the future, or am I going to read minds? Because the other way to do it would be to have the cards, and then you have a card selected, right? And then they shuffle the card back in, and then you say, you know, I'm getting a picture. I think it was a court card, red and black. I think it was red, and probably the lowest value. Did you pick the Jack of Diamonds? And they say yes. That would be mind reading. Okay. So kind of come up with how you're going to do your revelation. Also, don't just run into a card force and just, you know, reveal it as soon as you can. Add a little bit of story to it, of course. Add a little bit of drama, some suspense, and then decide beforehand. Are you going to predict the future, or are you going to read their mind? All right, so I hope you enjoyed those card forces. I hope they give you a lot of mileage and that you're able to use them. And maybe in the future, we'll do some more of these videos. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.